Hello, you're listening to the PCB Wrestle Pod. I am your host, Daniel, joined by Tebbs. Tebbs got a big smile on his face. Leeds 2,
Hello.
Preston 1.
Hello, Dan.
Dodgy handball decision, did it?
I mean, yeah, total dodgy. The way the guy just lifted his arm up to stop that ball going through. Come on, it was a nailed on. To be honest, we deserved it. We deserved it.
No, we were shit. We just went. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I was watching, yeah.
Right, hang on. Right, watch this. So my granddad's mate is a referee assessor, yeah?
Right.
So he just goes up and down the country and his job is just to assess the referees, yeah? Got this text from my granddad at 11:14. Leeds v North End shortly. Weak Homer referee in Little David Webb. The big crowd will sway him. Home win. I read it before I went on. I thought, cheers. I've just driven hour and a half here to watch this. And then in the 93rd minute, up steps him.
I could see, you know what, I'll be honest, I was sat there through second half thinking, they're going to nick this. They're going to nick this. This is a typical Leeds knocking on the door and you just snatch and grab right at the end. But, look, it's... I thought we were up against it from you going ahead in the first 5 minutes. That's what I was most worried about.
1 minute and 6 seconds. Why do you think my voice is gone?
I just texted you at the time just saying, don't say a fucking word.
Yeah, but by the time you sent it, you'd equalise. I was stood on top of the seats right next to all the Leeds fans, just like that. And then when the goal went in, I said, come on, right, we're off. So we're sprinting into the car. What a nightmare parking is at Ellen Road, by the way. Oh, my God. There's 3 car parks, that's it.
Yeah.
So you go past the McDonald's, past a Subway, and then there's a railway bridge above and just to the left just before that.
Yeah. Well, when me and my dad used to go, you go under that bridge, down end of Ellen Road, come back on yourself, and you get to a big roundabout with a Porsche garage, and there used to be a pub on corner. Yeah. We used to park on a industrial estate just behind there. And my dad was so tight, he never used to pay the £5 to park next door to the ground. So we always used to park there and walk probably close to a mile to get to the ground when we used to go.
As if a £5? A £5?
Used to, back in my day. Back in my day, you kids don't know your
£10. £10. If you're keeping that flag up, yeah, is it a flag or a towel? I'm keeping this up.
Oh, of course you keep that up. Absolutely. Hey, same thing for my co-host on the other podcast to do, the Movie Chef podcast. Cormac, a massive Chelsea fan, and when we were in the Premiership for those couple of years, it just got to a point where 5 minutes to 3 on a Saturday, we'd text each other and just go, I'm not talking to you now, see ya. And we both just ignore each other for the next 3 hours. And then we forget the game ever happened because we used to nearly tear lumps out of each other when they played. So we just don't talk to each other.
As well last season.
Yeah.
At Ellen Road. It's a horrible stadium, seriously. Saying to Chloe, I said it's like one of the best atmospheres that you'll go to, but because it were a dinner time kickoff, it was quiet. But the ground, honestly, you sort of new stadiums, yeah, or stadiums that have been built in the last 30 years or something. The rows are elevated. So, you're not just staring at the guy in front of his head. Oh.
Yeah, stadium seating. Yeah, you don't get that there. You don't get that there.
Shocker.
Especially if you're right up in top at East Stand, in second tier up. I've been right up at the back for a game against Martin, I can't remember, Martin or someone like that. Some UEFA Cup game back in about 1997. Maritimo, thank you. I was right back up there, right up at top when me and my mate, we managed to get a ticket for like 10 quid to get in. And I tell you,
that's the best standard. That's the best standard.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not saying
we were in the stand opposite, that shed.
Yeah, you're in there, weren't you? Yeah. That's where we're
fire disaster waiting to happen, that.
It used to be at South Stand, or half at South Stand at least. You know, next to where you were. That's where away fans used to be. And now it's just up in that corner.
North End in 2005, 2006, you beat us in the playoffs. We had the full behind that goal. It was all right there, but
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, enough about football. I don't like football anymore. Horrible sport.
You beat us Boxing Day, didn't you?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I know, but I'd sooner have won today so I can brag for the next 10 years if you get promoted or something. I was complaining to Neil about the ground, and Neil being like the good winner that he is, he just put, well, you'll never need to come back again anyway because you won't be in the same league as us. I was like, right, Neil, cheers.
See, I'm the worst kind of football fan. I just take it I just don't take it so seriously anymore. I used to, but I watched today and I enjoyed it, but I'm dreadful with stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the Royal Rumble. Next Saturday night, where's it from? Is it Tropicana Field? I'm sure there's been one there before.
Probably.
Tropicana Field. I'm sure the Rumble's just there every year. To me, when I think of the Rumble, I just think of MSG. I don't know why. I just think it should be MSG every year. You know, so you can see them running out.
But I like the baseball stadium. I think it's daft for wrestling any other time, but I kind of like having a baseball stadium for Royal Rumble. You know, something to.
I know what you mean. It takes me ages to
away
get to the
from
ring,
everything
though.
else.
MSG,
Yeah,
it's
that's
about
true.
10 yards, that little door, and
Yeah.
you're in.
Little door and you come running down. San Antonio last year, Tropicana Field. Oh yeah, it's at 34. Royal Rumble 21 was from Tropicana Field as well, so they enjoy it there.
Right. Oh, that's where they did all the. What was it? You know, like the shows during the pandemic.
Mm.
Right, let's get into it. It's 2024, so we better start with the women in case anyone gets angry at us. Right. So, Women's Royal Rumble. Right, I'm going to go over to you, Tebbs. So the bookies have got the following. So the odds-on favourite for the Women's Royal Rumble, which took me by surprise, who would you guess?
Odds-on favourite?
Yeah.
I'd go Bailey right now.
Yeah, Bailey. You must be watching more than me. Bailey, odds-on, followed by Becky Lynch, 7-2. Jade Cargill, 11-2.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, 10-1. Charlotte Flair, 14-1. Bianca Belair at 16-1.
That's a shouter. The more you keep going on about this story of Bianca Belair, the more I'm thinking. Yeah, I really can. I still think it's Jade Cargill. I still think it is. I think your Women's Rumble winner, first time. Even Ronda Rousey didn't have that, did she? Oh no, she had that first
she debuted
Rumble season. Yeah.
No, I don't think she did. You know, she
came out at the end of. She came out at the end of before Mania 34.
She didn't win it though.
No, and then the following year, was she in it the following year?
No, she beat Sasha Banks that year.
So it wasn't a debut match then. So has anybody ever won the Rumble in their debut match?
Brock Lesnar.
But was that? I mean, his debut match for the company.
Oh right, for the company.
Could Jade Cargill walk out of the Royal Rumble number 30? If half the people go, wow, other half the people go, who? And then she wins her first ever match, the Royal Rumble.
It could happen. Problem is she's shit, but
you haven't seen her for the last 6 months. She's been.
I've seen her enough before that.
Center. I can see. So basically, announced so far: Bailey, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Maxine Dupree have all announced for the Women's Rumble. That's it. It's am I allowed to say it?
Go on.
Am I allowed to say that I'm not really bothered about the Women's Royal Rumble match, and they should have it on a.
Whoa! No, it's on a level footing.
I'm just saying. I think it takes away from your main spectacle, which is the Men's Rumble. To have two in a night, it just gets.
I like it. I do. You
can have too much Rumble. That's all I'm saying. You can have too much.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm not even like a big Royal Rumble fan really. This year I love it. I know you are because you always want to go to it.
Yeah. That's like next time I've got the money in January, I'll be heading out to one. Royal Rumble's like second night of the year for me. Second most exciting year for me. I love it because it just sets up everything.
It's just not rewatchable. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't really go back.
Maybe not the undercards, but I can go back and watch a Rumble from 98, 99, 92, 90. I watch over and over again. Not over and over again, but I could easily watch 1990 again. That was where Hogan threw perfect over at rope and Hogan won it, and then he won it again the following year. Ric Flair in his win in 1992. That Royal Rumble 1992 is probably one of the best Rumbles there's been.
Yeah, it was.
And I can easily go back and watch them. But there's been some shit as well.
I was 7 months old for that one. I was complaining about it the next day to my mum.
I have to put up with people like you at work. People like, there's a lad at work, right? Don't get wrestling, none of this. He was like 4 months old when 9/11 happened. And he sat doing the same job as me. And I talked to him about stuff that happened in the 90s. It's like I'm talking about 1955. He just looks at me like I'm the old man in the corner with a cane and a grey beard.
Tebbs, I was watching the Raw after WrestleMania 20. the other night. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what this says about me and Chloe. We worked it out. Chloe was 3 months old.
Jesus.
Anyway. So then, right. I'm a hero down the pub. Anyway, right.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
Right. So Bayley, Becky Lynch, Jade Cargill, Sasha Banks, Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is the same price as Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax at 20-1. I'll see if there's any other interesting ones in there. AJ Lee 25-1. Oscar 33-1.
These are to win. Yeah, no. You've already mentioned one of it. It's going to be Bayley. It's going to be Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair, I think, is an outside, but I think anyone outside of that. I don't want them to do a big. The women's rumbles never seem to have anything other than the winner. They don't seem to have any sort of continuation of the story, and I won't mind seeing the women's division expanded on more, shall we say? I don't want the women's rumble just to feel like they're having it because they have to have a women's rumble. There should be something going on in it, and the other ones I felt before then. Maybe with Becky Lynch coming past, that was the main event. That was Charlotte Flair. But any other time, it's always just they all just feel like an afterthought. There's no ongoing stories. But there's people I was looking at today. I don't know when they're due back, but you've still got Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and everybody. I don't even know when they're due back. But the women's division needs some people to come. Liv Morgan, was she carrying weed for somebody, or she said it was somebody else's, or it was a vape. It was a weed vape.
I think she got injured, though. Is she injured? She must be. Right, so you're going with Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
I'm Jade Cargill or Bianca. I put Bianca Belair, yeah. But we was doing our WrestleMania cards, which we'll be going through later on. I think, I don't know, I put Jade Cargill in a title match. Not the title match, but a title match. So, we're both, you know what? I'm sticking with Bianca Belair. But you're going with Jade Cargill. I'm Bianca Belair for that one. So I don't think Bayley will win. I can't see a heel Bayley winning the Rumble. Bayley shouldn't be odds on for me. You're back against that.
I think there's a babyface turn coming with her. She's getting kicked out of Damage Control. It's Oscar, it's Io Sky, it's Kairi Sane. Dakota Kai's injured for ages. I think something's going to happen where they're going to just kick Bayley out, or Bayley winning it will. She needs to be the babyface against the evil group that kicked her out. There's a story there. That's what I mean, and I can see Bayley, and then doing a babyface turn. Yeah.
So Bayley, the prediction is Bayley. They're thinking like maybe like she wins it. Maybe she'll eliminate Oscar or something. But like I said to you the other day, I'm going with Bayley, Sasha Banks to debut to return in the Rumble. Maybe even after the Rumble. Bayley's getting done in by Damage Control. 3-on-1, 4-on-1. Sasha Banks' music hits, and they come out to make the save. Who knows? That might even main event and end the show if they do it like that.
I may have had something similar for my WrestleMania card that we'll talk about later on.
Talk about it later. So, right now the important one, the men's Royal Rumble.
Now on to the one that everybody gives a shit about.
Right, the men's. I actually am quite interested in the women's one. Right, I'm going to run through the prices.
I am if the story demands it, but then you always seem to get 1 to 22 of, some old divas returning and comedy, and there's no sort of thing linking the match together. It doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, that's me getting cancelled.
Who do you think is odds on?
Punk.
Correct. Punk, same price as Bayley.
Punk, really?
Yeah, we've got Punk at 8 to 13. Second favourite, Cody Rhodes at 9 to 4. And The Rock at 7 to 2. So from that, basically what you're saying is the bookies are thinking either three of them could win it. A few other interesting ones, potentially. We've got Roman Reigns at 20 to 1. Don't know where we've got that from. We've got Brock Lesnar. No one spoke about Brock Lesnar, 25 to 1.
Sorry, just 1 second, Dan. For anybody who don't understand betting, so when Dan says 20 to 1 for Roman Reigns, that means if you put £1 on Roman Reigns to win, you'll lose £1 because he's not fucking winning. That's not happening. So just don't bother.
Sort of like the pound, if you'd have put on Daniel Bryan to win it in 2014, you would have got £1.60 back, but you didn't. We've got John Cena 66 to 1. Kazuchika Okada 40 to 1. And I want to ask you this, Tebbs. Who do you think is 8th favourite at 18-1. Let's see if you can guess.
The only person you haven't mentioned yet, I'm going to guess MJF.
Have you looked at these?
No,
or what?
promise I don't
MJF
look at.
18-1.
I honestly don't look at odds for Rumbles just because the closer you get to the time, people know stuff. People start betting. I just don't want to know anything going in. For as much as I watch films and get stuff spoiled before I go see it and everything with wrestling, I want to be a complete mark. I just want to just live it, so I don't check them.
I think, but I don't think with the Royal Rumble, I don't think it matters. Do you know what I mean? So like later on,
now,
now,
yeah. Now we're all right. Now we're all right. But I never look at them anyway, just because I know what I'm like. I can see. I absolutely think Punk's winning it. Again, debut match, re-debut, new debut, first debut. I don't know, but are they going? If they do that, I think it's Bianca winning the other one. I can't see Cody Rhodes winning it again. I don't know. I've got loads going on in my head, and until The Rock comes out and they arrange something with Reigns, or until something is kicked into gear, it's all still up in the air, especially with Seth's possible injury as well. So Seth might be out.
I'm going with CM Punk, and I am going with Punk, Cody as the final two.
I thought
Randy Orton interferes, helps CM Punk win, takes out Cody Rhodes.
See, I thought Punk and Rhodes went in at 1 and 2, and ended up being the last pair.
Yeah, they've
done
a bit too much of that though. The last year they did Walter and Cody. Went the whole way and stuff.
I can see him do it again. I don't. They've got plenty of people there who can do something, but I don't think Gunter needs to win it. Nakamura's won it already. There's nobody else. It's Punk. If you sign in CM Punk up for WrestleMania season, you let him win the Royal Rumble, and that's it. I'd have it in my contract. First thing I sat down with Triple H. First thing, I want to win the Rumble, and you do it. So
you don't, and if it was The Rock's probably not going to show up, right? For a start, maybe, who knows, right? But so you rule The Rock out. You say unless, who knows, right? To me, if Cody's going to face Roman at Mania, which I don't think he is, but if he is, you don't take the same route as last year, winning the Rumble, challenging him. You got to go a different route, haven't you?
I'm really beginning to think that Rock's going to come out either at the Rumble or before the Rumble and say, Roman Reigns, I'm taking you on at WrestleMania. And then when Cody wins the Rumble, he goes, well, since though Roman Reigns is busy, I'll go for Seth instead. And you've immediately got Cody Rhodes in a title match at WrestleMania. You can still do your Rock match, and you have Seth and Cody.
So we'll move on to that. Talking with the Fatal 4-Way then. So it's Roman Reigns versus Orton versus LA Knight versus AJ Styles. And I'll let you talk about what you think is going to happen, because you had an interesting theory about potentially Roman losing the title.
I think the only way you're going to, well, no, it's not the only way, but have Randy Orton win this match, and he's going to lose the title, and then it obviously gives The Rock an avenue to have a match with Reigns without the title in it. But the more I've been thinking of it, can you have Reigns just have a match against The Rock and it's non-title? Could you have a WrestleMania main event against The Rock where the title isn't on, and you leave Cody versus
title's
Reigns?
On the line, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be. I think the only person who's walking away from this match with the title is Randy Orton. I don't think the other two are in it.
But we're picking Roman Reigns with that said to retain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Whether somebody gets involved, or I think you've got to start having cracks in the bloodline as well. But the only person who could realistically, I think, take that title through WrestleMania season would be Randy Orton. But I think there's two. I don't know. I really don't know. This is why I love wrestling. I really don't know. Until that night, and they've laid breadcrumbs so far. There's so many loose ends dripping around, and they've got to do really well to make sure. Because I was fantasy booking this WrestleMania today, and I'm looking down all these, and I've still got a whole list of people who are not on the card that you'd think, where can I fit them in? And I told you, I put about 17 matches down for 2 nights, and I'm like, I ain't got a match for so-and-so. Where's so-and-so fit? And they have got a gluttony of talent at the minute. It's probably one of the strongest rosters we've had for 15 years.
It's not even talent. They've always had talent, but there's a lot of over baby faces. Cody,
Superstars.
Punk, LA Knight, even Jey Uso. Do you know what I mean? Drew.
Yep.
I don't know if he's what with Drew. Obviously I don't watch all the time, but so he's like a heel or a lot more heelish, but he's still like slapping the fans' hands and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah. He's going sort of. I think that they keep teasing that he's going to do a full heel turn, and I think at the minute he's just being another voice that's pissed off Punk's back, and he keeps getting riled up. And why is his story being ignored for everybody else's? I can see it as a slow heel turn, a very, very slow heel turn. But yeah, he's still coming in and doing all that countdown shit. Who counts down when you're about to hit your finisher? 3, 2, 1.
He's been watching Gladiators. 3, 2, 1. Right. So I don't think we'll need to spend long. There's not been any other matches except for Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, has there been announced. I didn't watch SmackDown yet.
No.
So Kevin Owens, Logan Paul. We've not much to talk about. Who do you think will win that one?
Logan Paul.
Yeah, because I think that'll probably. I was going to say open the show, but actually they'll probably do the Women's Rumble first, won't they?
I don't know. Even if you had one match open it, get everybody excited, and then hit them with the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
It depends. You can always tell with WWE how the night's going to go, because if you put your men's rumble first, like they did last year, you've still got a big sort of ending, which was the Sami Zayn turning on Roman Reigns, wasn't it? So that had to headline. So if your fatal 4-way goes first or second to last, no one's changing. It all depends, but I think I'd have Logan Paul, Kevin Owens first, then your women's rumble, and then there's going to be a few more matches. Where's the tag titles? Where's the tag titles gone?
No. I had to Google who are the tag team champions because I knew it was
Judgment Day.
Well, Tebbs, do you know what we was doing 3 years ago this weekend?
I should have to think. Go on.
We was previewing the 2021 Royal Rumble.
Was that the Shane McMahon one? Or was that 22?
I couldn't tell
Which
you.
is the one where Shane took?
Do you want me to give you the results?
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre defeated Goldberg in 2 minutes 33 seconds via pinfall.
Right.
Sasha Banks defeated Carmella with Reginald. Right. Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble by beating Rhea Ripley.
Reginald.
So, I'm just stuck in my head.
I'm just having flashbacks to Reginald. Sorry.
Roman Reigns defeated Kevin Owens.
Yep. That's when he got handcuffed to the railing, and Paul Heyman couldn't get his handcuffs unhooked quickly enough. God, Jesus Christ, he's been
the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Edge. Jesus, Roman's been champion for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he's been facing Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble for the last decade. Because he faced him last year as well, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah. So they had Roman versus Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble 2021. They had it last year, main event the show, when, like you said, the Sami Zayn turn happened.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. Jesus.
So I think that we are now... Are you staying up for the event anyway? You are right?
Oh, yeah. I'll be staying up. Probably drinking too much.
Mm-hmm. So we've got the Rumble next Saturday, and we are now, as me and Tebbs spoke about in the last episode, we're going to WrestleMania, so a little bit more excitement for us for this one. Let's talk about we did early today, we've done our WrestleMania cards. We're not going to do them in order. I'll just divert you the way that we want it to go. So, Tebbs, what is main event in night one of WrestleMania? Have we got the good seats for this one? We're on the floor for this one, haven't we?
We're on the floor. We're on the floor for this one. I don't know where we're at. I think we're like near one of the corner posts or something, but we're on the floor for night one. I'm hoping there's like a Falls Count Anywhere match or something, because that's the most time. And night two, we're up at the top. I can't remember what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like central block art, we put like high up.
See, I kind of like that. It's going to because I've never been down on the floor seats for a show like that before. So I think just the atmosphere is going to be amazing. But night one, I've gone rather dangerously. Punk v Seth v Cody.
Really?
Yep. Triple threat.
Right, you tell me why, and I'll tell you why it's not happening.
Punk's going to win Rumble. Cody wins Chamber. Cody wants the big prize with The Rock, with Roman Reigns, but is already busy with The Rock. Spoiler alert for what I think Night 2 is. So they need to put him in. Triple threat at WrestleMania, as we've said, in 10, 20, WrestleMania 30. It's always been triple threat matches in main event. Punk, Seth, Cody. And then if Seth's knee don't manage to get you through, you've still got Punk versus Punk versus Cody for the title. And then you can have Cody finish his story another time.
I'm trying to think, what would Cody's reason be to challenge for it? Do you know what I mean? Like I said to you, maybe because Punk, maybe he just comes out and says, "Look, I'm going to this match to stop you, a cancerous CM Punk, winning the title. I've seen what you did where I used to be, so I just want to stop you from doing it here. And the only way I can do that is by stopping you, completing your dream of main event in WrestleMania and winning the title." Maybe they go that way.
So on that, but it keeps Cody busy, puts him in main event, wins him a title. Put the title on and put the title on Punk if you want, whatever. But it gets Cody in main event. Then you can have him do SummerSlam against Reigns. But I just, if you want to leave the belt on Reigns, you want a match against Rock, and you still want Cody to win a title, do that. And you tell me Seth, Punk, Cody in a triple threat won't be any good.
No, it'd be good, but to be honest with you, if that's the case, I'd sooner just fuck Rollins off and just see Cody versus Punk.
But if his knee's fucked, they've got to
hopefully
back up.
Yeah. Hopefully it is.
I'm not going to lie.
I don't give a fuck what Twitter thinks.
I'd prefer to see Punk versus Cody in a one-on-one at Mania in the main event.
Just
sorry, Seth.
Stick it to Tony.
Sorry, Seth, but you know.
Seth and Becky can stay at home because I was struggling to come up with a Becky Lynch match for this show actually as well.
I was as well. Okay, we'll come on to
that. Anyway, so
who have you got?
I've just gone with Punk Rollins. It just seems like the match we've all thought is going to main event for the last 2 months. I think that's what they'll go with. I do quite like your idea. Like, do you know what I mean? They could go that way. But yeah, we'll find out more maybe tomorrow night when Rollins does his promo. But the injury's meant to be 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks in it with what he's got. But I'd like him. I just feel like, like sometimes with WrestleMania, the main events, if you know too soon what it is, like in my head now, it's just Punk Rollins, yeah? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I think it's good to stray away from that. Like, so, when we went, we knew that Seth Rollins was winning that Royal Rumble, and we knew that Becky Lynch was winning that Royal Rumble, and they was going to go to Mania and win the titles. And that is exactly what happened. There was no twist. There was no turns. It was just that, and it was...
The twist was sort of getting Charlotte Flair added to the match with Rousey, which was not what nobody wanted.
The one match for the title that Mania that no one would have predicted, because it went the opposite way, was the one that was the most over on the night. So nobody cared about Seth. Well, maybe a few people cared about Seth winning. Nobody cared about Becky winning because that crowd was dead. The biggest pop of the night was Kofi winning.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think the Seth Rollins pop, however that was, is because it's WrestleMania and you've just started with the match against Brock Lesnar that everyone thought they weren't going to be seeing for 5 hours, and here it is, and the match itself, it was what they've been doing on Raw all the time. Few kicks to the nuts, few stomps, pin 1, 2, 3, it's done. It was a sprint, but it worked. But yeah, I think I think there's going to be twists and turns, but I just think as well, it's like let it build. Then have Punk and Seth and maybe throw Cody. I don't know. Let it build over 3 months, but we know what's going to happen. But I also don't know which way that's going to turn because the positioning or people are positioning Punk as going back and he's getting everything laid on a plate for him. He's getting titles, he's winning Rumbles, all this. What if Seth was to be the one that retained? Punk doesn't win the title. It's that kind of, that for me would be that twist in the story.
Seth shit. I like it. If it went for his theme music, nobody'd give a shit. He makes out, he's like, oh, I'm the best wrestler in this company, blah, blah, blah. I'm the work rate guy. He's had the title for 9 months. Name the good match that he's had. Someone will be like, oh, it was the match with Nakamura at Fully Loaded, Backlash, whatever. Oh, do you remember that great match? No, I don't remember that great match because it didn't happen. It was a figure of your imagination. It was about a 3.5 star match that even Dave gave 3.5 stars. Pinnock. Yeah. That's
So
just,
come on.
do you know what? Fuck Punk Rollins. I'm going with Punk Cody.
Punk Cody.
Rollins
Right,
can
okay.
do one. Right. We better mention the women's match.
Well, just 1 second. Night 2. Oh, we're doing night 1 still. Night 2. Or we're just saying
I just wanted to do the night. Go on. I was going to just do the. Go on. Plus, you've said it now. Well, you've changed
Roman
it to Rock versus Roman.
Well, it's happening, isn't it? It's happening. So
it better I'll be doing.
Yeah. I've got a whole thing for
Is that it?
No, I've got a.
But I'll listen to your theory.
Solo is going to be acknowledged by Rock. Rock's going to win. He'll give the head of the table to Solo, and the lead up to SummerSlam is Reigns versus Solo for the head of the table. So Rock gets his win. Roman goes on with his tail between his legs. Something's going to happen with Solo on the night. So again, I can't find a match for Solo, and I just think
Rock is winning the title at Mania.
No, so it won't be a title match. It'll be for the head of the table or some shit. It'll be for the head of the table. It won't be. It'll be a non-title match.
So who?
Rock's going to beat Reigns.
Yeah.
It's a non-title match, but Rock will be acknowledged as the head of the table, and he hands it over to Solo rather than Reigns and says, "Solo, you're head of the table now. See you later, everybody. Thank you." So Rock comes in, saves the day, gives it to Solo, and walks off. And then you've got Reigns and Solo fighting over the bloodline leading up to SummerSlam.
I like it, but I'd maybe do that the SmackDown after. But you can't have the title. You might as well get the title off Roman, yeah, and have Cody finish his story so we can get this out of the way with. If it's not, imagine all of people. The title's not even being defended at WrestleMania, and Cody still doesn't finish his story.
That's the problem I had when putting this list together, because I'm like, hang on a minute. Yeah, the company's biggest title isn't being defended here.
I know. Can I just say something? You know, like I'll be honest with you. So my main event is Rock versus Roman. Roman retains the title. They'll tease Solo siding with the Rock, but they'll do that. And I'm going to say why. Because everyone's saying Roman's losing the belt at Mania, right? I still think there's stuff there for Roman to do with his feud. He's still got the CM Punk feud, yeah?
Yep.
Right? He's still got the one-on-one Randy Orton feud, which I do think will probably happen in Saudi in May. Yeah, he's still got the Solo Sikoa feud, so he's got 3 feuds there. I feel like they've not even had the singles match with AJ. They've been teasing, so there's a lot there on the table. I mean, people will say, my most hated phrase in wrestling is this, and I'm sure you said it the other day. So I hear it all the time. It doesn't need the title. The biggest match on the show should be for the title. I'm sick of this. Undertaker HBK at Mania 25 didn't need the title. No, it might not have done. It was still a great match. But I tell you what, if it had main evented for the title, we wouldn't have had Triple H versus Randy Orton main event for the title that nobody cared about. The biggest match on the show should be Rock Cena 28, yeah?
Yeah.
If they'd have done that for the title, we wouldn't have needed to see it again at 29 for the title when nobody cared a year later. The biggest match on your show should be for the title. Rock Roman for the title. Roman wins.
But you put it as Rock Roman for the title. Rock Roman for the title. You know who's winning. Rock's not winning the title, and then what? Just handing it over the next night. What's it going to do? Just next time on SmackDown, just holy fuck.
Why? Why not? Right? People say, right? People forget this. Right? The Rock's last run in WWE, yeah, when he was still a big movie star, yeah. People forget this. He had a match versus Punk at the Rumble, yeah. Right. He then had a rematch with Punk at a random Elimination Chamber show, and then he faced Cena at Mania. So he had 3 pay-per-views in a row. So there's no reason why The Rock can't wrestle at Mania and then drop it at Backlash or Saudi.
Because The Rock currently has in development Red 1, Fast X2, Moana, Doc Savage, Jungle Cruise 2, Big Trouble in Little China, San Andreas 2, and The King, all which will probably pay him at least $20 million. Why is he going to go and wrestle in Saudi Arabia and get himself in shape and fucking graft and do all that for when he can just turn up on set, have a stunt double go and jumping around with him, and he can just do his eyebrows at camera and get paid $20 million? He's got all that lined up. He's not coming back full time. Rock
beats Roman Reigns, and I don't like this. Do you know what? I'm not going to movies. I'll probably watch Backlash, right? But what about Rock wins, yeah? Celebrates. Someone cashes in Money in the Bank. Damian Priest cashes in. There you go. The Rock beats Roman Reigns. He gets his 5 minutes. Priest wins the title, and we're off to the races with Priest. Although I don't really like that. Just have The Rock win. If you want, have him drop it on Raw or SmackDown the next night.
It was SmackDown, yeah. But then...
Or just have Roman win, like I said. Why am I arguing this? You're the one saying The Rock's winning. Roman's winning, simple. Interference, Roman wins, on we go.
I'm going to have a T-shirt made up that says, it doesn't need the title.
I'm going to get a black shirt, right, with white lettering on. I'm going to wear it to WrestleMania. It's just going to say, Roman wins, LOL.
Right, okay.
WWE weirdos will be crying on Twitter about it, and I'll be like, Stardust was never going to win the title to end a big WrestleMania 40. Seriously.
Right, come on. Who was your women's main event?
Just quickly, I know, like, we're time, whatever. WrestleMania 20, Benoit wins. A true, like, wrestler's wrestler. Sorry, you're not meant to say that, are you? Anyway, whatever. He won. Benoit wins. 30, Daniel Bryan wins. So 40, maybe you can have the ultimate underdog winning. Who knows? Roman retains. Right. So the women's match, what women's match is the double main event of night one?
Yeah, see, I'm struggling with this one. I've got either Bayley versus Io Sky or Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Depending on if she comes back, I think you can get, I think you can get something there. Them two need to have that rematch at WrestleMania. Imagine putting that in front of Sasha. Do you want to come back to us? Well, we'll give you Bayley at WrestleMania and do that NXT takeover match in front of 60,000 people. If she's coming back, that's how I'd book it. But I think it's going to be Io Sky. Bayley wins the Rumble, goes after Io Sky's title. There's your story. So
you're doing Io Sky against Bayley?
Yeah. It's predictable, but
I've got this down as night 2. I've been thinking about it. You're so keen for Jade Cargill, and she has to wrestle at WrestleMania, whether or not it's for a title, and she has to win. She's going to win a debut match, isn't she, right? Right. So she's going to win. So I'm thinking, I don't think they'll want her to win clean over Rhea. She's got to win in dominating fashion, really. So I'm just going to go with Cargill wins the Rumble. Yeah, I know I said Bianca, but Cargill or wins the chain, whatever. Cargill will beat Io Sky clean for the title at WrestleMania. Night 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got Cargill, Rhea. Jade versus Rhea. But you'd have to have Jade as the babyface. I know they're trying with Rhea, unless this is Judgment Day breaking up and Rhea turns babyface because nobody's booing her.
When she wrestles, she already is babyface, isn't she?
Yeah. So maybe Jade's going to
face at the Chamber as well.
I've got nothing for Bianca and nothing for Lynch, so I just put them two together in a match because I thought that's probably
going to. The SmackDown title match, you've got Io versus Bayley.
Yeah.
I've got Io versus Cargill. Who have you got for the Raw title?
Io versus Cargill. Right, okay.
Yeah, Io versus Cargill I've got. But who have you got for the Raw one that Rhea's holding? Who's Rhea going to face?
Well, I've got Jade Cargill.
Right, okay.
So I think they'll put Cargill against Rhea. And Io Sky is the match for Bayley.
Right, okay. So Io Sky, Bayley, and Jade versus Rhea. You know what I've gone for? I've gone for Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. 3 years on after they both ended the Rumble. That's what I'm pretty sure. I think that's what we'll do. I feel like it's a big match. And do you know what I think for Triple H, yeah? Why I think he'll do this? He brought them both up in NXT, yeah? Right? And when they was in NXT, they wasn't necessarily the marks, smarks, whatever you want to call them, their favourite. It was your Kairi Zanes that were the rest. You're not the NXT crowd's favourite. And he sort of went with Bianca and Rhea. There weren't backlash, but I wouldn't say Bianca was never like the most over babyface in NXT. She has been on the main roster. So I think he pursued with them two. He built them two. I think he's going to want to put them together at WrestleMania. And I think that's why you've not seen Bianca versus Rhea all year. You've not seen that match while Triple H has been in charge. And I think he's waiting for WrestleMania to do it.
I can buy that. You have convinced me on that one. I can see
John
that
Cena
more.
Batista. They ended the Rumble in 2005 together. Yeah. They both, like I said, they both went on to win the title that year at WrestleMania. 3 years ago. Bianca and Rhea.
Yeah.
They both were the last two in the Royal Rumble. They both won at WrestleMania the titles. Here we are, years later. It's time for them to go one-on-one when they're both better versions.
I would not have a problem with that. I wouldn't. I honestly, I would prefer that as a wrestling match against Cargill. Maybe they'll bring in a secondary women's title, maybe like the TBS title.
Oh,
maybe they could call it the Fox title and have.
Maybe she'll win the
Cargill.
NXT women's title at Mania. She has. Do you know what I think they could do? I just thought of this. So we've gone for these title matches, yeah. What if they just go with, like you said, Io versus Bayley? It's sort of set there, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Bianca Rhea. They could do them too. Just have Becky, a pro. She's not that good. She's overrated, but a pro, yeah. Face Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill just runs through her in about 5 minutes, like seeing a Brock Lesnar type at SummerSlam.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Becky does the job. Who was I thinking of just then? So you've got Jed. The one thing I was thinking, right? How you can get Becky into WrestleMania, not in one of the title matches, but for a secondary women's feud or something. They'll love the tie-ins with WWE 2K24, the video game series. And this year's is focusing on special matches, and one of them is they're going to let you be special guest referee in the game. That's the rumor anyway. So what if they just bring in a special guest referee match at WrestleMania? Now, Austin's done it in the past. So why not have Becky Lynch special ref in Liv Morgan against Trish Stratus or something? You know what I mean? I think they're going to do some sort of gimmick like that with Becky Lynch rather than just for one of these secondary matches. I think there's going to be some sort of tie-in there. They always do it. I've got another one with a tie-in as well, so we'll go into that. So that's a women's side.
I'm going to give you my last women's match. I've only named two.
Right.
I already spoke about it briefly. I think they're going to do a 6-man tag: Sasha, Naomi, and Bayley versus Damage Control. I think that's what they'll do. To be honest, to get some all on the card. I've already said why I think. So they're my 3 matches. What other women's matches you got on the card?
Tag titles are always in there. I've got the women's tags versus Kabuki Warriors. So Oscar and Kairi Sane against whoever's women tag titles at the time.
Is it Casey Catanzaro or Katana Chance, whatever she's called?
Yes, I believe so.
God,
Can't remember. I think women's tag titles are always on there. They usually do a 4-way or something like that. I think so like I say, I think there'd be a Becky Lynch, maybe even Shayna Baszler or something like that. I think, I like your idea with Jade Cargill. Keep her away from the titles. Have Jade just run through Becky Lynch. And then there'll be the women's tags against Oscar and Kairi Sane. And I think them two are going to win. Yeah, you can't have them at WrestleMania and not do anything. They're in this new tag team. Put the belts on them.
They could Becky Lynch, Nia Jax. Has that not been built or somewhere?
Yes, there was hints towards that as well.
Right. Well, that's enough about the women, right? No offense to any women wrestling fans. WWE do it better than anyone else, in my opinion.
True.
So you've got no of them at women's matches on your card?
No, but then again, the women's division isn't that big either, so we'll let it go. Women's Andre the Giant Battle Royal, what do they call it? The Mae Young, I don't know.
Do they still do them?
They did the men's one last year. I think, did Bobby Lashley win it on the Friday night? And his WrestleMania moment was came out in front of everybody with the trophy.
Did it on SmackDown, didn't he?
Hey, I won a trophy. No,
I was too busy watching. Last year's WrestleMania is so weird, Tebbs. So PNE played Blackpool, which is like huge for us, and we beat them 3-1, so I was smashed. So I watched the WrestleMania the next morning, rough as anything. And then, so I basically watched, I can't explain, so I watched WrestleMania Night 1 the Sunday morning and WrestleMania Night 2 the Sunday night. So it was like, you can imagine what actually, I tell a lie, I watched it the Monday morning. So I didn't even watch them live. I didn't watch WrestleMania live either night. How crazy is that?
I'll be watching Rumble and I'll be watching Mania. What else have you got then? What have you got for your undercard then?
Right. Have we got any right? I tell you what. Who's Brock Lesnar facing? Because I've not even got him down. Gunther.
Have you not? Right. I've got him taking on Gunter
Yeah,
and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a
I
fatal
like it.
four-way for the Intercontinental title. Have them all fuck each other over during Royal Rumble. Remember back, I think it was SummerSlam 18. It was Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, and was it Roman Reigns in the four-way for the title. And it was just 20 minutes of fucking big guys just kicking shit out of each other.
It was good, wasn't it?
And just imagine a four-way that for the title. You can have, I'd have Sheamus go over. I'd give Sheamus his moment.
They did that was the triple threat last year, weren't it? For me, my WWE match of the year, and just with Brock added.
Yeah. So I'd put Brock into it.
I do like that idea.
That's XL. Imagine that match of three blokes just kicking shit out of each other and then throw Brock Lesnar into it.
Yeah.
That's
put Lesnar in a different environment like that instead of a one-on-one match. I like it.
In a four-way, it protects Lesnar, protects everyone. Sheamus can pin Drew, so it protects Gunter and Lesnar if you want, but having them four in a four-way against each other, that is just incredible.
So so we've got the Brock Lesnar and the Walter match. So you've gone for the fatal four-way, yeah?
I'm going for a four-way.
Who's Randy Orton facing at WrestleMania?
Yeah, see, I was struggling here. I've got him against AJ just because I think though, if I can't see if Roman's walking out,
and he putting the lights on this time.
No, that's probably the one story I tell everybody, probably because it's the last thing I remember. But where he was walking back up, do you remember when we watched it the next day? He was walking up and he was taking the piss on Raw.
Yeah,
Randy Orton going, I can't see. I'd have
Orton against. Did he do that on Raw?
Yeah, I'm sure he did it on the Raw the next night. It was like that. Right. Orton AJ, something will happen at this fatal four-way that they end up fucking each other over, and just have them two in a run up to Mania. It seems a waste of both of them, but there's no room for them. There's no room for them at the minute.
We know that I'm going for Cody versus Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
My title matches are Punk, Rollins, Rock, Roman. So I think what you do, the next best thing for Cody, you offer him his one-on-one feud with his mentor, whatever. He runs through him or whatever. I think Orton turns heel after losing the title match because he had Punk overshadow his return. He had, which he's mentioned in an interview, annoyed him. He lost the match to Roman, so we'll see Cody. Maybe Cody wins the Chamber of the Rumble, he'll lose his shit or whatever, and then I think Orton maybe punts Cody, puts Cody out of action or whatever. So maybe stops him competing at the Chamber, something like that. Comes back and we have Cody versus Orton one-on-one.
What does this mean for the Chamber though? What's going to be on?
Maybe CM Punk's confirmed, so
I
don't know if CM Punk's confirmed to be wrestling on it. Maybe that says that a SmackDown guy's winning the Rumble. I don't know. Maybe The Rock. Who knows?
Jesus.
You may event it with Rhea Ripley, don't you?
Yes. Which you know she's winning because she's going through. Go on then. Obligatory mentions Jimmy versus Jay. That's got to happen.
That's my opener. I've got that down as my opener of night one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got Jimmy versus Jay.
Brett and Owen, didn't they open it like in the 90s?
What about? Yeah. And that was probably one of the better matches of that era.
Yeah. So Jay, Jimmy. What do you want to Solo Sikoa do then?
See, you got time to throw Solo in there as well as a triple threat. I always thought it would be Reigns, Solo, Jimmy versus Jay in a four-way, but you could have put Solo in as well. But I think you need him for main event. Just have Jimmy versus Jay. It just needs to be a one-on-one brother. None of this tribal combat stuff. Just have one brother versus the other.
Yeah, I agree. Right, another one I'm going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Who did Judgment Day defend the titles against?
I've got Judgment Day, which would be JD McDonough and Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, versus DIY versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate in a ladder match for unified titles.
But I thought, who are the tag champions for Judgment Day?
Well, New Day used to have it where they mixed and matched.
Right, free birds rule.
Right. I'd say they could use that. I'm sure they've done that in the past as well, defending them. I'd have JD McDonough and Dom Mysterio in a ladder match against DIY and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates.
Right, I'm going to go with Judgment Day defending it against, which I think this might surprise you because I've said who I think this guy's facing, but I've changed it. I think Judgment Day are going to defend the titles, against AJ Styles and LA Knight.
Okay.
They've been teasing the dissension, right? They're both not going to win this fatal four-way. I think they might do something where each other, they might, do you know what I mean? They have maybe a few singles matches. And then I feel like, I don't know, I can just see them throwing that together. But then I've made the mistake of, I've actually put, will Logan Paul maybe face AJ Styles? Because I know, like me and you think, it's going to be Logan Paul versus LA Knight, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, so LA Knight, Logan Paul, would be great. Babyface heel. I want to see that. I prefer that much. But I'm just thinking of the guys Logan Paul's worked with in the past. It's been your Ricochets. Do you know what I mean? It's been your athletic guys that he can, like, have those sort of matches with. So, like, do they just have Logan Paul versus AJ? AJ can, like, I think it'd be a good opponent for Logan Paul, I think, who's better in the ring than LA Knight, obviously.
I think LA Knight's sound is experienced. I'd have him against Logan Paul. I'd have him win the US title against Logan Paul. I'd have it as a reward for the year he's had in terms of coming in off that gimmick of the Dupree whatever and coming in and getting himself as so organically over as anybody has done since Daniel Bryan. And I know he's not at that level, but he's come in and he's done it and he's got people behind him and cheering his name and he just hasn't got, I go back and say it, there isn't the room in the main event in the titles. He had his match against Roman Reigns and it just wasn't enough. And I think you've got to put a belt on him. The crowd will go wild for it. Logan Paul's going to be safe enough in the ring with him. It's not like he's an unsafe worker or anything. Maybe even Randy Orton, Logan Paul instead. But either one of those.
Yeah, that'd be a big match, that.
Yeah. And you need to, and Randy Orton is safe as fuck. He'd look after Logan Paul and can still do his crazy shit. But I think it's either one of those who's going to be in that match.
Yeah, maybe they could somehow Gunther versus LA Knight. Maybe I don't know. I feel like it'd be a good way to. I know I've said Jimmy, like you said, LA Knight winning the title in the opener of Mania. I think that'd be decent to do that. Go it that way.
Yeah.
Go on. I've got one last match that I've got written down because I think I've written down 10, which I just feel like I'm sure it's been planned. I've just gone with Sammy against Drew. I don't know.
Right,
I just feel like they planted the seeds for that. But where does that leave Kevin Owens?
Well, yeah, I've got no room for Kevin Owens, Solo, Kofi, Shayna Baszler. Leaves a lot. I've got Sammy against. I think Sammy's going to get forgotten about. I've got Sammy against Omos. Right, I think Omos is going to come back soon. They love the WrestleMania sideshows. It's going to be little Sammy against giant Omos. Sammy's going to throw himself around and he's going to get a win over Omos coming back. I think something like that. That's only because I put Drew in that match with Sheamus and Gunther.
I like that. I want that fatal four-way now.
Oh, it works, doesn't it? It's long-term storytelling, but you're throwing Lesnar into the mix of it. Even if them three came out, Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther all came out after Royal Rumble and said, "Look, let's finish this at WrestleMania," and then Lesnar just walks into the middle of them and goes, "Not if I've got anything to say about it."
See, now I want to ask you this, right? So it's WrestleMania 40. Yeah, it's a big one in it, yeah. The 30-20, they've been big. They bring, if you think about 30, it opened up with Rock, Hogan, and Austin. So say we're saying The Rock wrestles in the main event, yeah. You're thinking of other like legendary guys they can bring. I'm thinking maybe Austin. Who knows? For all we know, it could be Austin Punk. You never know. But will John Cena wrestle at WrestleMania? And if so, who against?
Maybe two or 3 months ago, I'd have said Cena versus Orton in a retirement match.
Oh, don't. know I want to see that. They've never wrestled at WrestleMania. How?
Cena versus Orton, retirement match. Everyone thinks, is Orton going to be retiring because of his back? Is it, should he come back? Cena's got beat by Solo Sikoa. He doesn't know whether he's still got it anymore. And then Orton can retire Cena at WrestleMania. But the more we've seen Orton back now, and the longer we go without Cena coming back, I think Cena's just going to be helicoptered in. I won't be surprised if Cena comes out at the beginning of night one and does a hi, welcome everybody. They're either there or they've got Austin.
Yeah.
Who else have they got? That's original.
I'm trying to think. Kurt Angle.
Do they still talk to him? Is it because they let him go?
Yeah.
They did fight.
Trying to think who's legendary figures that they could Cena, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
Taker won't really come out and do a hi, welcome to WrestleMania 40.
No, but I mean, they came out at 30, didn't they? And did a big promo segment.
Yeah. But you got Austin.
Batista. What about if Cena opens Mania? Yeah, whatever, like you said with the microphone, and you have Batista come out. They came through the ranks at the same time, sort of thing. Cena, Batista, and then
I'd love it. For me, WrestleMania, those moments are just I'll take anything. Knowing my luck, it'll be fucking the Honky Tonk Man comes out and reignites his feud with, I don't know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan or something. I don't know, but it could be anybody who comes out for those moments. But I also know I'll probably be there. And yeah, it'll probably be something like that. Oh no, I did have the Miz tied up for something, but I've had to bump him off. Have you got any other matches?
I've gone through my 10. So any matches that you've got there that you would want to give a shout out?
Okay, so Karrion Kross and Authors of Pain against Lashley and Street Profits.
Yeah, that looks likely, doesn't it?
You got a 6-man tag. I think for a bit of comedy value, maybe Adam Pearce against Nick Aldis.
Yeah, they can both wrestle.
And I've got Finn versus Damian Priest with special stipulation, R-Truth on a pole match. It's been ages since we had a pole match, right? Priest kind of wants him to stay in Judgment Day, R-Truth. Finn wants him out of Judgment Day. Put R-Truth in the middle. You got a comedy match, you get them both on. And then I've got Rey Mysterio against Escobar in a Slim Jim KFC Pizza Hut Peanut Butter M&M Home Depot lumberjack match.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew as well.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew. So yeah, I think that'll be either a lumberjack match or something like that. But there'll be one match that'll just have all the tacky marketing attack. It's the well, I shouldn't say Taco Bell, but the Pizza Hut lumberjack match, and they'll be throwing pizza each. I think that's just one of those. You can depend on Mysterio, but I think I'm excited. If half of those matches come off, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
they can't mess it up, can they?
No, the card. There's that many things. We've just debated everything that you can think of happen. There's a lot of things to be excited about. But I feel like no matter what happens now, I'm gonna be oh, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that? Right, one last thing about the card, unless you've got anything else to add.
No.
Will Damian Priest cash in? And the second question, should he cash in?
Yes. Yes, I think he will, and I think he should, and I think he should win when he does. Originally, the idea I had was Punk wins over Seth night 1. Punk comes out at the beginning of night 2 because you want to get Punk on both nights, and he comes out to say, "Hi everybody, thanks again. I won the title last night. Aren't I great?" Damian Priest comes, smashes him, pins him, but cashes in. So Punk wins on night 1, but Priest cashes in on him at the beginning of night 2, and you get another title change.
So to me, I think they might do it. I don't think they should, because I think it takes away from what you've just seen. I don't know. I feel like that's a SummerSlam place to do something like that. But if they're going to do it, where they have him cash in on Punk, let Punk have his moment. Do it on Raw. Don't do it on WrestleMania. Do it on Raw.
Raw after Mania then, yeah.
Raw
after Mania then.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. But either way.
I tell you what, remember I said this? If Damian Priest is in a match at WrestleMania and loses that match, he will cash in.
Yeah.
That's always the way they do it.
Yeah. Didn't it happen with Austin Theory? He lost his match and then he came out to cash later on. They always do it where they kind of...
New Year's Revolution, 2005. Yes. Ric Flair beat Edge.
Right, okay.
Show. And then It might have been 2006, sorry.
That-
and then
that
Edge
sounds right.
cashes in at the end of the Elimination Chamber that night.
Keep forgetting about the chamber. So are we going to do a review of the Royal Rumble then? It's
Yeah. So
Sunday,
we'll do that next Sunday if you got time.
if I'm awake.
Yeah,
I need
I'll be
to-
free all day.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Millwall away off next Saturday to watch the Rumble, but we've got Coventry away the day of the Chamber, and I'm thinking, although it's a great time, I do like a bit of Coventry away. It's only 2 hours away, so I booked on that coach today.
Right.
But I'm not doing Millwall, but I'll do Coventry.
I'm going. My dad's booked tickets to see a
Yeah.
Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute band. So me and my dad, yeah, it's good. So we're going to see that on the Friday night, having a few beers in Leeds, get home at silly o'clock in the morning, and I've got to be up for 8:30 in the morning to watch the Chamber. So I'll be doing that.
I'd probably say we'll review that on the Monday. I'll be dead on the Sunday.
Yeah. Let's not do the Sunday. But look, like you say, even if half of these come off, and I think there's going to be some surprises yet. We've still got 3 months. What is it now? 85 days? 80 days?
10 weeks. 11 weeks
10 weeks.
tonight we will be at WrestleMania watching Roman Reigns leave night 2.
I'm secretly hoping he does now. I really am.
Roman wins. LOL. Right. Is that everything? Yeah.
It's everything.
Right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will be back next Sunday night on the PCB WrestlePod. How's that for a tongue twister? Reviewing the Royal Rumble. So yeah, Tebbs, we'll let you say the final word again.
Oh, thanks, Dan. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you later. We all hate Leeds scum. See you later, everyone. Thanks for listening.